Previously on T-Man 978.
Mouth, happy face right there. This creep face and a scared looking face. Here's Anya herself with the closed mouth smile. And I don't.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining me on this new chill review. Thanks to Junkie on Crafts and Builds, I'm going to be taking a look at the Valaverse Action Force Vanguard. Stralth Gray missile launcher included. It's Rezvani. It's a Rezvani something. I can't remember what it is, but you already know. Y'all already are fans of this stuff. Or if you're not, it's going to be a big truck with an army guy. Anyway, this is what's normally behind me while I'm reviewing in this room. But this is way too big for my review area. So it's here. Here's everything. If you can see that. Let's zoom in on this. I'm going to be actually showing all this. So I don't know why I'm doing all this. But yeah, let me open it. Mess with it and come back. I'm sorry for the one guy who gets bothered by audio coming in through one mic, because I'm definitely on this side of the mic. Alright, full disclosure, this is attempt number 2 at this. I filmed a lot, but I don't like editing a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could afford an editor. I can't. But anyhow, I don't want to do that, so I'm starting over. This thing, initial thoughts on it. It's a nice looking vehicle. The plastic feels nice. It's full of all the details you would probably get with the real thing. And I'm going to go around it and show all that. But at the end of the day, it still feels retailish. Thanks to Junkie on Crafts and Builds again, I was able to look at the Ramen Racer. That, which is a similar price point, felt more like a premium type thing. Like that would be for Mezcos and beyond, while this definitely feels like something that would be made for G.I. Joe or retail type stuff. The bad part about that is they are a similar price, and the Ramen Racer, not on top of that, had lights and sounds and whatnot. And the things that came with were comparable to me to this. It came with a lot if you did the early bird special thing. But we're going to get into this deal, and it's still nice. I think I'm going to get into the driver first. And you can see him in there. I'm going to put my light down so we can like really see him in there. Sitting comfortable. That's the tough part about this. Having things perfect so we can like see that, but you see him in there seated perfectly. And I'm going to put some other people in there because this thing is supposed to be able to fit 4 people comfortably. I'm going to try to do 5 because it's a SUV. Normally somebody can sit in that middle part. But to get this guy out of the way quickly, he is a basic action figure. This is, I guess, probably going to be their new troop builder body. You know you're going to see this body over and over again. He comes with all the same basic stuff. He has on the trigger hands, which have a vertical hinge. Then he has the fist, cupping hand, and knife holding hand. All of these have a horizontal grip. And he also comes with a standard pistol. Kind of reminiscent of the pistol that came with like the original Classified Series Duke. It has a blast effects port and whatnot. He has no holster or anything. I wish that it had a holster because that would make him a little bit more convenient and fun instead of just having to hold the gun in his hand all the time, which of course he can do nicely if you want to. One upgrade with this body is they went with the original G.I. Joe Classified Series scheme of things of having a ball at the base of the neck and a hinge. So that's better range than you get with the dumbbell joint and the ball at the base. But this ball at this base gives you a lot of range because it doesn't have like a big collar. I mean, it doesn't really, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't really go back that much, but it doesn't have to because the hinge makes them able to look all the way up. But it comes forward and gives them more range down. And of course, you get side tilts and rotates and whatnot. Get the joint that goes up more than 90. Butterfly joint that has a lot of range on there. Swivel here. Double elbow, like I said, vertical hinge on this hand. And let me see, I haven't even tried this. Yeah, these hands come out way easier than a lot of their first figures. You get the 2 points in the upper and lower body. So you can get all that. You get a lot of tilt on this vest. Like, I do like this, that instead of giving them a vest that they have to wear over top of this, he has the vest built in, and that's something they definitely needed to do. So with a different color scheme, this could probably look better. I did get a chance to look at the gray tank, and not gray, the tan tank and the tan driver, and I did not like that. If I said this looked toyish or retailish, the tan one looked even worse, and I didn't like the color scheme for the actual soldier. If you look at it and you like it, then I'm not going to discourage you on that. Drop down hips, can kick back. You can kick up more than 90 degrees. And then if you add the ab articulation, it can look like he's even kicking higher. Goes out to the side, thigh rotation. I showed the drop down hips even though I didn't specifically mention it while I was doing it. You have boot swivel. Here's what's one thing that's different. It's in the middle of the shin instead of directly over the boot. So that can, depending on how you have it, break up the sculpt, but it's also a cuff. But definitely I would have liked it over top of the boot. So I don't know why they went with that. You can kick back, you can kick forward, ankle pivot, and I do like the sculpting on the bottom of these feet. Like typically with Hasbro, you would get like sculpting on the outside and maybe paint on the outside, but you wouldn't get the actual boot detail on the bottom. So I do like that. But as you can imagine, with all that articulation I just demonstrated, you can get into some nice poses. And this thing comes with some accessories that he could probably wield himself. So I'm going to be bringing him back out. I forgot to bring this out. This is the new stand that they're using. It has 6 foot pegs and a slot for if you want to put the bio card. I don't believe this guy came with the bio card. At least I didn't see any. Made out of hard plastic and whatnot. Yeah, nice. Alright, update correction. I just found in one of the little cardboard pieces that this guy does have a bio card right there. So let's zoom in. I'm gonna talk long enough for you to be able to push pause so that you can read this at your leisure. The back is plain. Also in that little baggie that had that, we get the instruction manual right here. And I do need to turn the brightness down so you can see this. And we have a rack of optional stickers that you can put all the way around. And I'm happy, thank you that I found this. So I can tell me where to put some of this stuff, hopefully. Or the suggested area for some of these things, because I did not know. Like, I knew you could put the gas tank in there, but I'm like, is there anywhere to secure it? And I guess this is their recommended placement for this stuff. Like that says hatch on the hatch, which I did apply to the actual vehicle. All right, this thing is huge. Now, when I messed with the tan one, I'm gonna admit, they're like I said, I've been messing with a whole bunch of different vehicles recently, and there were certain things I was like, just naturally, instinctually looking for. And one thing I saw that I didn't like, and one thing I was instinctively looking for, was shocked that it was omitted. Let's get the brightness down. Like right there, you can see Rezvani. You can see the tailpipes and the little hitch right there. But I was shocked to find out, because I went to try to open the hood, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that doesn't open. So that's boring. And the tires, they look a little bit toy-y, like I was saying. But I was messing with this right here on the front. This hook right here, it stretches out, and I compared it already with the Vamp and the Stinger. This rope is actually the same length, and you can roll it back up by rolling your hands right here. Roll that string all the way back up. Once it's rolled up, it stays there. You don't have to really worry about it like getting loose or whatever. So there you are with that. You can angle this however you see fit, or maybe pull it out some and have it hooked there like that if you want. But one thing that was already pre-applied, this shovel right here. The shovel is a more pliable material than some of their weapons, but it's not made out of something that's going to be gummy. Please take note that some of the things that I'm mentioning are just my thoughts, or that I just want to make sure that I put out there. But I don't think that it's a bad vehicle or whatnot. But the doors open up. You see it has suicide doors in the back. There are pegs on these little foot stands right there. And if you want these doors to come off, you could just twist it right here. It comes right off. It actually goes into 3 pegs on a rotating swivel in there. So yeah, I found that getting the ones back here, to me, at least the first time I did this, it was easier to get them back on. But you can open the trunk and hold it in place with your fingers if you have to. But yeah, that went in relatively easy. It's going to be so difficult for me to show the interior, but I'm going to try. But while this door is off, I wanted to show you the side view mirrors. They are reflective, but not as reflective as the Vamp and the Stinger. It looks like the old school video games where you can vaguely see an image right there, but not really. Here's this interior detail. That looks nice. And let's see, on this door, that is detailed and nice. I like that this is a whole different texture down there. In fact, it might be a different piece molded in. I'm not sure. Alright, here is the hatch. Now, it is higher on one side than the other. It's higher on that side. I like to have that forward. But this just easily just comes off. It's not going to just randomly fall off if you have just this in there, but it does come off easily. Here we go with this detailed interior. The stitching on the chairs looks realistic, as you can see. You can see the little thing for the seat belts, which are non-existent. Here are the rear seats. There's cup holders in the back. It does have like the AC controls and whatnot, but as you may have noticed, this seat is forward. We can adjust it, and we do definitely have steering details and gear shifts and foot pedals and clutches and all that junk. Then I'm going to try to show from this angle that some of the details are painted. It doesn't seem to have as much like actual, besides the knobs and the frames and all that being painted, it doesn't have actual like tampographic detail like what I've seen in the Vamp and the Stinger and the Ramen Racer. The Ramen Racer had like actual light up detail and whatnot. So here's the passenger side. So yeah, like you can see, it's just bare bones. It's detailed, but not all the they didn't go overboard with detail to make it look as realistic as possible. And here is the foot area for the passenger. They do have like a textured floor, but it's like not soft or anything. That's all plastic. Here is the rear trunk area. I see these little slots. I'm thinking the gas canisters can actually connect to that. Well, yeah, I can see where the seat belts would be, but would the back of the chair actually look like this? I don't know. It is textured, but that just looks so toyish. Alright, I don't know if I showed this up close, but it does have transparent like tail lights. I mean, I showed it, but I didn't go into detail. Just like the headlights. I mean, everything is textured and detailed, but it's just the finish that I'm saying that makes it seem like not as premium. And like I showed, they didn't go extra mile with the interior. And with these big tires, that's a lot of just gray plastic. For extra inside of the vehicle flourish, we do get this coffee cup, which does have detail for the drinking part and the venting part. It's hollow on the bottom. And then we have this energy drink that says Vanguard, which does have the detail of the top of the can. Now this right here, this is premium. That's filled in at the bottom. Those can fit into the cup holder, but like loosely. It's not a secure fit. If you start moving all crazy, they will fall over. Of course, they can fit into the back as well. I don't feel like putting the can back there. The can is even skinnier. And here's one thing, I might have made it sound more difficult, but I guess if you put it in the same way you took it out, you might not have to go through too much trouble to lock that back in. So yeah, you might not have to go through too much to get that back in there, and I wanted to demonstrate that. Now these accessories. Here is the gunner seat right here, which has the basically same clips as the hatch. You can put that into the top. So it can look like this. Of course, that can rotate once you have it in there. These come out super easy. It's like not like locked in there. I mean, it's in there securely, but when you want to take it off, it comes right off. So I'm pretty sure they worked long and hard to perfect that. All right, this is the guns that are supposed to be mounted onto the gun rack. Painted ammo cartridges or whatever. Painted ammo. Feels nice, but it is featuring one of the dreaded things that Transformers fans hate. Waffles. Unless somebody's gonna tell me that's what it looks like in real life, which I seriously doubt. Anywho, that plugs into there. Now here's one weird thing that I saw in pictures and whatnot. It is, I guess, a gunner can climb up there and sit there, so that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it makes sense. I'm not gonna go into it. Oh yeah, the tires are rubbery but hard. If I did mention that. Now we have this stuff right here. From what I can tell, this plugs into here, because the instructions are only but so helpful. Then we have this ammo that we can put in here, and the gun has a tiny hole right there. Now in the pictures, there's something flat right there, like it's a little portable ammo cartridge thing, and I hope that wasn't in this box because I don't see it anywhere. But we can plug that all together to look like that. And what we can do is it has this clip right here. We can slide this over there, and it does have like some articulation like this. It can rotate, it can rotate, it can rotate again. So I don't know, the gunner up here can have two different ways to shoot, I guess. And we do have these cannons right here. They do have a peg right there, peg hole. They can fit inside of here and sit on top of the, like, it's like some pegs in there, so you can sit that inside there on both sides. I'm not gonna lie, as big as this thing is, because it is way bigger than like the Vamp and the Stinger. My hands, I'm having so much trouble doing anything inside of here. Now there is a hole right here in this joint on the turret, but it looks like you need to pull down on this, separate that, and plug it to here inside of the actual tank. So now that gun is in there. Let's check this. If you're a little bit careful and have it even more in there, the gun won't get bumped into. So let's bring that back out so I can put this back on and try that again. And get the gun inside of here. There we go. So you're left with this. We can just throw that back in there. Shoot, it's in there. In my original footage, I had this little piece and I was like, what the heck is this? Now I think I realize what this is. I was looking at this. I thought this was like maybe a button or something. I think this is actually supposed to be attached there, but it was broken when I pulled it out. Yeah, like I said, various crazy glues. It just stuck immediately, but that's what that should have been. That's what that should have looked like. I hope I didn't just glue this on here for nothing. To let you see that rifle, of course, is removable and holdable by an action figure. And they come with this longer bullet belt right here that you can attach. Here's this blast effect right here. This is supposed to be for the gun up the top. To drive yourself less crazy, I suggest detaching it and then putting this in. And then you get these comically big blasts right there. You know what does feel premium? This missile launcher right here. And all of these missiles they give you. Like, let's let you see them. Like, they're nice, heavy missiles. And they can be ported into each of the slots up front right here. Which is cool. I'm not going to make y'all sit here. But it is cool to put them in here, and they do seem to latch in once you get them all the way in. So they're all in there, and let's test this. Yeah, if you push them all the way in, they shouldn't just fall out. But to get these on, it's the same way as the hatch and the gunner seat up there. You pull that off. You put this in. And, oh boy. Get that in there. And now it should rotate. And it clicks one up and one down. But I guess that would be useful if you're doing this, and I guess if you rock it enough, it would do that. And not only that, we get these blast off effects right here. So if you take one of the missiles out, you can put this yellow piece in there. And you can make it look like it's actually firing the missiles. They're all different lengths, so I'm having them come out in sequence right there. And here's the blasting off exhaust effect right there in the back. And at this point, I've been recording forever, so I'm going to take a break, which won't mean nothing to you guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've shown everything this thing could do. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I took a several days break between that last footage and what you're seeing right now. I do have some extra 3D printed pieces that can make the other gun turret go up and down because it just rotates. I got Chunky on Crafts and Builds printed these out, and you can go to his channel and see it. Because yeah, I'm tired of showing stuff. I still have to show people inside of it, and that's gonna be fun. AKA extremely time consuming. You're welcome. Alright, I decided to go with every single Knife Force person I own. And some other people who aren't Knife Force. Now Shockwave is technically Knife Force. I have Shooter back there. But I don't have him in his Knife Force gear. But yeah. I have a light in there. I can use sticky tack to put it on the top of the turret so you can actually see back there. But yeah, they're crammed in there. But since she's a smaller female, I was able to make it work. And then back here, I have Low Light being the gunner. And now here is the Reaper up there with the gun. He's actually sitting up there. The feet are like high enough, even though they're actually going down into the Vanguard a little bit. I'm not bumping anybody's head. With the foot pegs right here and the rail up there, you can put 4 more figures on there. So I was able to get 5 inside of there with the female figure in the back. 1 up here, 1 in the back. That's 7. And then add 4 more. That's 11 people. They don't recommend you put 11 people on there. But yeah, there we go. It's your figure. You could do what you want. You could have somebody riding on the head if you want. You could have 3 people over here if you want to. But here's this. Here is an example of a bunch of stuff that you can be having going on. You could have bad guys holding on to this, breaking the glass, or trying to break the glass while this guy is opening the suicide door shooting him. So possibilities endless. I'm tired. I can't remember if I showed this already, but yeah, it's about twice the size of the vamp mold or whatever, or at least yeah, it's taller and wider, heavier, whatnot. Probably equal out if depending on which loadout you got. Maybe it's more accessories. I don't feel like counting, but yeah, I like them both, so whatever. Here's this thing, and I'm breaking all types of the 4th wall because this space isn't big enough. Here is the Hiss tank, similar size. The Hiss tank is ultimately taller, and it's like exactly the same length. The Hiss tank comes with interchangeable armor things and lights and whatnot. So there's that. It also came with the 3 figures and all the other stuff because it got fully funded. Here's the Fortnite motorboat. It is pretty much the same length and width, but of course not the same amount of size. I mean, not the same height and whatnot. But yeah, and I'm done. Here's my positive review. I like the thing. It looks good. This is a nice looking vehicle. It's very sporty to be a tank. It's probably unassuming. It does have cool features like the ability to actually steer the tires or turn the tires with the steering wheel. That's nice. I like to be able to put the gunner stuff out the back. That's awesome. I think you don't need to do anything extra to get that. If you did get the missile rack is awesome. The missile rack feels like the most premium thing in this whole package. The actual Reaper driver is good. I like him. I like his articulation. I just have a problem with the face sculpt or the mask sculpt. I don't really like it too much. I didn't try it out till just now, but the first couple waves of G.I. Joe Classified series, the heads actually pop right on. The ball joints are pretty much the same size. Newer figures with the dumbbell joint neck, those have a smaller ball joint. So there's that. To make it look right, you'll have to get somebody who has a longer ball stem. Like, let me get, where did I put his body at? This body has a long neck. This one has like a regular size neck, but you see that stem with the ball on it? So his head doesn't actually look too crazy because they gave him extra room. So there you are with that. So if you don't want this guy to have that mask on, here you go with that. And he can even hold the helmet separately. So that's great. But like I was saying in the middle of the review, so I hate to be repetitive, they didn't give him a gun holster. That would have been great. As far as this thing, it mostly works great. I don't have too much of a problem with it. I just think, and maybe I'm just cheap, I think it might be a little bit overpriced because it just feels like, it definitely doesn't feel like premium for something that's like 200 bucks. It definitely feels like a toy. I mean, when I say that, I don't mean it feels like cheap and hollow, but it is definitely toy-y looking with flat matte colors and whatnot and no paint. But yeah, other than that stuff, it's good. If you wanted this, it does a good job at what it's supposed to do. It's a nice looking vehicle, and it can hold these people. If that's what you want, you don't have a ton of options, and here's an option. So there you go with that. Anyhow, thank you, Junkie on Crafts and Builds. Link in the description to his channel or the video where he's actually putting these pieces on the gun rack at the top. If I don't do that, you do it, Junkie on Crafts and Builds, in the comments, and I'll pin your comment. Thank you all for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos.